I want to thank the witnesses for their hard work on a long day. I want to thank them especially for invoking the American Revolution, which not only overthrew a king, but created the world's first anti-monarchical constitution. Your erudition makes me proud to have spent a quarter century of my career as a fellow constitutional law professor before running for Congress. Now, Tom Paine said that in the monarchies, the king is law, but in the democracies, the law will be king. But today, the president advances an essentially monarchical argument. He says that Article 2 allows him to do whatever he wants. He not only says that, but he believes it because he did something no other American president has ever done before. He used foreign military aid as a lever to coerce a foreign government to interfere in an American election to discredit an opponent and to advance his re-election campaign. Professor Carlin, what does the existence of the impeachment power tell us about the president's claim that the Constitution allows him to do whatever he wants?
It blows it out of the water.
If he's right, and we accept this radical claim that he can do whatever he wants, all future presidents seeking re-election will be able to bring foreign governments into our campaigns to target their rivals and to spread propaganda. That's astounding. If we let the president get away with this conduct, every president can get away with it. Do you agree with that, Professor Feldman?
I do. Richard Nixon sent burglars to break into the Democratic National Committee headquarters, but President Trump just made a direct phone call to the president of a foreign country and sought his intervention in an American election.
So this is a big moment for America, isn't it? If Elijah Cummings were here, he would say, "Listen up, people, listen up." How we respond will determine the character of our democracy for generations. Now, Professors Feldman, Carlin, and Gerhardt tell us there were three dominant reasons invoked at the founding for why we needed an impeachment power. Broadly speaking, it was an instrument of popular self-defense against a president behaving like a king and trampling the rule of law. But not just in the normal royal sense of showing cruelty and vanity and treachery and greed and avarice and so on, but when presidents threatened the basic character of our government and the Constitution, that's what impeachment was about. And the framers invoked three specific kinds of misconduct so serious and egregious that they thought they warranted impeachment. First, the president might abuse his power by corruptly using his office for personal, political, or financial gain. Well, Professor Feldman, what's so wrong with that? If the president belongs to my party and I generally like him, what's so wrong with him using his office to advance his own political ambitions?
Because the president of the United States works for the people. And so if he seeks personal gain, he's not serving the interests of the people. He's rather serving the interests that are specific to him. And that means he's abusing the office and he's doing things that he can only get away with because he's the president, and that is necessarily subject to impeachment.
Well, second and third, the founders expressed fear that a president could subvert our democracy by betraying his trust to foreign influence and interference, and also by corrupting the election process. Professor Carlin, you're one of America's leading election law scholars. What role does impeachment play in protecting the integrity of our elections, especially in an international context in which Vladimir Putin and other tyrants and despots are interfering to destabilize elections around the world?
Well, Congress has enacted a series of laws to make sure that there isn't foreign influence in our elections, and allowing the president to circumvent that principle is a problem. And as I've already testified several times, America is not just the last best hope, as Mr. Jeffrey said, but it's also the shining city on a hill. And we can't be the shining city on a hill and promote democracy around the world if we're not promoting it here at home.
Now, any one of these actions alone would be sufficient to impeach the president, according to the founders, but is it fair to say that all three causes for impeachment explicitly contemplated by the founders, abuse of power, betrayal of our national security, and corruption of our elections, are present in this president's conduct? Yes or no, Professor Feldman?
Yes.
And Professor Gerhardt?
Yes, sir.
And Professor Carlin?
Yes.
You all agree. Okay. And are any of you aware of any other president who has essentially triggered all three concerns that animated the founders?
No.
No.
No as well.
Mr. Chairman, it's hard to think of a more monarchical sentiment than I can do whatever I want as president, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Ms. Leskin.